Is Goku Black a god of destruction from a different universe, or is he a Makaioshin? And is Zamasu a Green Supreme Kai from one of the 6 destroyed universes, or is he possibly the one behind Goku Black? We're gonna talk about this right now with Geekdom101. What's going on, my fellow anime fans? I have a special guest with me today, and he's laughing. You can probably hear him in the background. His name is Geekdom101. Welcome to the show, Geekdom. What's going on, buddy?
I was just laughing at your quick, enthusiastic intro there. Very good. Yes, I'm happy to be here to talk about anime, one of my favorite forms of entertainment.
I love it, man. I'm too hyped because that episode 48, and the previews for next week.
2 weeks in a row of good stuff now, man. Animation is high quality once again. Toei putting a lot more money into it. The voice acting, what I thought was phenomenal. We'll see what happens, but so far, so good.
So far, so good. I'm pumped for next week. But This video is not going to be a review on episode 48 or even an in-depth into episode 49. What this video is about, we're going to do an analysis on who we think Black Goku is, or Goku Black, and where does he come from? And what about this Zamasu guy? This Zamasu that was leaked today, he is the Green Supreme Kai that was kind of previewed in the opening of episode 47. And obviously the opening after that, and the episodes after that. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to get into your fan theories. You guys have been commenting, letting us know what your ideas are. So we're going to address those as well. So are you ready, Geekdom?
I'm ready, man. I'll tell you one thing. I've seen the words "I have a theory" more times in the last 3 weeks than I have in my entire life. So everybody's got their ideas.
Everybody's got their ideas.
Some of them are great. It's funny because some of these ideas are like so good that I almost feel like some of these guys need to make their own like manga or their own books or something. And then some of them are like, you should rewatch Dragon Ball a couple times and remember what actually happened. So it goes both ways.
It goes both ways. And if you don't know who Geekdom101 is, Geekdom101, I've been following this guy for a long time. What really makes him stand out is that he has a deep understanding of not just the show, but the history of the show, the manga, original Dragon Ball. So if you want to be educated as to what is the history of Dragon Ball, or you want to see what is the accuracy of the translations or some of the things that you might be confused about, make sure you guys watch his playlist, the Dragon Ball in-depth analysis, in-depth look into the history of Dragon Ball. He has a lot of great videos that I really recommend you guys check it out. I've learned a lot from watching Geekdom, so I want to bring that out there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. It's like just run through the channels. A lot of good stuff there.
A lot of good stuff. All right, let's take a look into this Goku Black. So one of the first times we saw him was actually in the opening of episode 47, even before he was revealed at the end. So we got a sneak peek. What I did find interesting, here's 2 things that I found interesting. First of all, in that episode, it was revealed that there used to be 18 universes, not 12. There used to be 18. So
that's
6.
Yeah, that's kind of a mental. That's kind of weird, right there. Yeah,
that's kind of weird. So now the question is that coincidence, or perhaps did they do that on purpose on the same episode that Goku Black will be revealed?
Well, if you take it back even further, when the information was first revealed from Toei, Herms got the translation. I did a video where I actually talked to Herms. We went back and forth about the translation and really dissecting it. And, they revealed that this arc would involve the gods, plural, of destruction, which means that Champa might be involved somehow, or maybe somebody else, and the Omni King. So in episode 47, there's a whole segment where Whis talks about the Omni King and talks about how powerful he is. And like you said, mentions the 18 universes. I don't think that was an accident. I think that was kind of a little foreshadowing of what's to come. I saw some reviews that criticized that, saying it didn't belong. But you have to understand, like I always tell everybody with this show and with any show, you got to wait and let it play out. Same thing with Game of Thrones, Walking Dead. You're not going to get all the answers in the first episode because it's not a movie. You got to wait and see what happens. So Omni King was a little teaser of things to come. And that's actually one of the Black Goku theories, is that maybe this being is from one of the destroyed universes. I mean, I'm not saying that's for sure, but I've been reading that. The only thing that I'm having trouble understanding is if the universes are pairs like 6 and 7, 5 and 8, what about the other 6? Like, were they pairs themselves, or was it a different kind of pairing? That's it's honestly, it sounds like Toriyama's just once again adding stuff without thinking it through. But I don't want to jump to conclusions because we might get an explanation later. I don't want to, yeah.
Right. So I have a theory it's just an idea. Again, we don't have much information to really go off, and there could be multiple answers. Everything we're going to talk about today is mere speculation based on fan theories and the information that we do have available right now. So one of my theories is that he could potentially, like you said, he could potentially be from one of the destroyed universes. But then the next question is, what is he? Was he a god of destruction that went rogue, or that was visiting another universe? Because as you know, Virus, Champa was visiting Universe 7. And Beerus wasn't aware of that. So potentially this person could be a god of destruction, although there are reasons why he wouldn't be a god of destructions. And here's one of the reasons. God of destructions, for the most part, their job is to destroy planets. And Goku Black has been around for about a year on this future timeline.
That's what they said, yeah.
Right. So he's kind of enjoying himself. He's not there really to just destroy. So maybe there's something more to him. I don't think he's as powerful as a god of destruction, in my opinion, although I could be wrong. But so it is interesting as to how is he going to get other characters involved. What I do want you to notice, though, is that in the picture from the opening, there's like a universe right behind him.
Yes, I noticed that.
And now, here's the interesting thing. If you notice, whenever Wiz is talking about the universes and they show the 12 universes, the pairs have their own color. Universe 6 and Universe 7 are blue, and there's some other color. So now the color that we saw was blue. So maybe he's from Universe 7, maybe from Universe 6, although I highly doubt it. Or maybe that was just coincidence that had nothing to do with explaining where he comes from. But it is interesting that there was a universe behind him, which is kind of implying that he is not just a Saiyan, which we'll address that later in the video. And he's not just a regular character. He's somebody above, at a higher level of power. Now, what do you say about that?
Well, actually, the only thing is, if he is a god of destruction, what happened to Beerus? Like, what happened to Whis? Because these characters, as far as our understanding of how this works, and I did do a video about this called Time Travel Explained on my channel where I broke it down, but my whole thing is, as far as we know, the timelines are not alternate universes. They're alternate timelines. They're pocket dimensions.
Right.
So that tells me that there is a Beerus and a Whis and a Champa and a Beerus in that future timeline. Did this black guy destroy them? Because he's definitely, you're right, he plays with his meat too much. Beerus just destroyed the Earth, or not destroyed, but could have destroyed the Earth, almost did. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that I don't think he's a god of destruction because of that, but I do wonder where the actual gods of destruction are, if Beerus is still asleep in that timeline, or could it be that Beerus and Whis and Omni King have dominion over all the timelines? They can cross in between timelines, in which case that's going to be another totally wacky situation, because then that makes me wonder, like, okay, why didn't Beerus find the SS God in a different timeline? Or, I don't know. My estimation is that Beerus and Whis and Omni King maybe not Omni King, because he seems to be above the other universes, but I think that those two characters, I think, do exist in the future. So this guy, if he is a god of destruction, would have had to have, somehow gotten rid of them, or I don't know, maybe Whis betrays Beerus in the future. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be explained for that to actually be the case.
Let me bring you a little bit of detail. So I mentioned this in my review or in-depth analysis video, and I didn't go too much into detail because I wanted to talk about it here.
Yeah.
I noticed in episode 48, episode 47, they showed Beerus. He always has his hand behind his back, and that wasn't the first time we seen him. And Whis also, he usually has his hands behind his back. Actually, when he was fighting Vegeta, he had his hands behind his back. It almost seems like these deities, they have this pose, this like discipline with the hands behind their back. Yeah. And Goku doesn't do that. But in the opening, where you see Black Goku, on the corner, you can see he's doing a Kai blast, but his other hand is behind his back, and he looks like he's posing almost like the way the deities pose. This discipline. Yep. So I found that interesting.
But of course that goes into the whole Makaioshin thing, which I know we're going to get to here in a minute. It was interesting, and that's the thing that people got to understand. This character Black is without question not Goku. He's not even a Saiyan, because he refers to Saiyajin to Trunks over and over again in episode 48. I don't think he's even that. He's got to be some kind of demonic or evil entity who enjoys destruction. But I don't believe it's anybody who we've already seen. Bardock, people have thrown names out there. Goten, of course, can't be him either. It's got to be a completely new entity that we've never heard of before. And maybe Whis and the Omni King will explain it to us. I mean, again, the story hasn't been told yet. Right.
And it is interesting that you say maybe Whis could explain it to us, because guess what? Whis and Beerus are going to be in the next episode. They're there when Black Goku arrives.
Yes, which I'm thinking it's going to be at the very end of the episode when they arrive.
Oh, when he arrives. Okay.
He arrives, yeah.
Right, that makes sense. First, we're going to see...
That's your cliffhanger.
That's a cliffhanger, yeah. So that's that. And for people who still think it's Goten, it's not Goten. He wasn't alive in the future. And for people who think that this is from Universe 6, this future timeline was from Universe 6, it was already confirmed by the official release statements that this was the same future Trunks from the Cell Saga. It's not our Trunks in the future. So I just want to clarify that for people.
Yeah, well, let me add real quick to what you're saying. Just another theory, because I've seen this pop up too. Some fans have said that because when Vados and Champa showed the Universe 6 Earth, they thought that Earth was destroyed or whatever. Well, that's not. If you look at the timeline, the actual years that the series took place, it actually matches up with Trunks' future. What I mean by that is, when Dragon Ball Super's Resurrection F arc was going on, that's when the future, the history of Trunks timeline was having the Trunks Gohan thing right around that time. Not exactly. So it can't be that the Earth is totally destroyed, because it was still fine. So there's no way that the Universe 6 Earth could be that same Earth. Not to mention that Earth was, of course, brought back with the Super Dragon Ball Wish. So I don't see it being that. But one theory I did hear, though, that I semi borrowed it from somebody, and then I came up with other details, is that maybe Goku Black is the being that somehow destroyed that Universe 6 Earth and then moved on to the future timeline Earth, and like a locust, like he infests things like a virus. That's possible too, but again, there's not enough evidence to support that yet.
Right. Yeah, there's not enough evidence to support that, but I actually never thought about that. That's a cool theory. Now, what do you think about this? So Goku is dead in the future timeline. He died of a heart virus. Yeah. Some people said, when the Earth was brought back, Goku was alive. And if Goku is alive, he was never hit as a child, and he was never turned into a good person. He stayed evil.
That's way too much derivatory. I don't even know what the word. That's too derivative. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like fan fiction at that point.
That's like fan fiction, especially consider that planet Sadal is the original planet of the Saiyans, right? And
and I'm glad you brought that up. I do want to say one quick thing about that. People were wondering, okay, Universe 6 and 7 are not identical twins. Even though we have a version of Frieza over there, let's pretend that when time began, that they were identical twins. There was divergence there, because the only way for Goku and Vegeta to exist in Universe 6 is if their fathers existed, because, there's King Vegeta and then there's Bardock. These characters could not exist in the same way in Universe 6 because they never went to Planet Vegeta at all. It was just Planet Sadala or Sadal or Salad. So when you trace it back through the lineage, Goku and Vegeta being born wouldn't make any sense, because there's a very slim chance that they were even born. Exactly. There's other Saiyans. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up. That's exactly right. Now let's talk about this Green Supreme Kai person. One of the things that I found interesting, because I'm still debating whether that person and Black are the same character, whether they're different characters, or we don't know yet. But
or they might be enemies, or they might be buddies. That's the thing, we don't know. Yeah.
Exactly. What I do find interesting, talking about Makaioshin, is that in the opening shot, and I did this frame by frame, that shot where the Green Supreme Kai, when he's falling down. Yeah. So as you see him above here, everything is nice and bright. But as he keeps falling down, it actually gets darker.
Yeah.
So it's almost like showing you somebody who's falling into darkness or into a demon realm, which could go along with the theory of that person could be could be feature Makaioshin, somebody who comes from the world tree, was tossed down into the demon realm. So I found that interesting. I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was going to do a video going into the world tree in depth, but now with Super, the god hierarchy changes every arc. So I can't do a video that'll be old in a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But that is interesting. I mean, the thing is that I think, honestly, that the Makaioshin theory is the most plausible because that character looks like a Supreme Kai. Not just that, but in the press release from, that just came out recently, they said that, is this a Kaioshin? So it's definitely a Kaioshin. Whether or not he's good or bad, that remains to be seen. Maybe he's the Universe 7 Kaioshin in Trunks' future infested by something. Again, I keep thinking the way that Goku Black was flying around with that shadow, I keep thinking this creature can like infest things. It just keeps coming in my head like he's like a shape-shifting kind of a creature. I don't think he has like a physical form except for the Goku form. But yeah, it is interesting, and we don't know, but it really comes off like it's either a Kaioshin or a Makaioshin, because the way Toriyama described the evil Kais was that they were just like the good Kais, but they were the opposite side. So it would make sense. He looks like Kai, except he's got different colors.
He's got different colors, exactly. And what's interesting also is that you asked the question earlier, are these two buddies or are they enemies? And it's interesting that back in an interview, I believe it was with V-Jump, where I think it was Toriyama, Toyotaro, who said, they asked him, why did you decide, and I could be wrong, it could be Akira Toriyama, why did you decide Super Saiyan Blue to be blue hair and Super Saiyan God to be red hair? And
yeah, which everybody just jumped and said, that's White confirmed. We don't know that yet. It was just an idea, right?
Right, it's just an idea. And they said the next villain, it might color clash with the next villain. So that could be implying talking about hair, it could be talking about clothes, it could be talking about something else. But it is interesting.
The hair seems to fit, yeah.
The hair seems to fit with this character. So it's almost like some people have theorized whether this Zamasu guy, this Green Supreme Kai, is the boss, and Black is below him. We don't know yet.
Exactly, and that actually makes a lot of sense, and I think it would be better if that was the case. I would actually kind of like it. If
you like that?
Well, yeah, because I don't think Goku Black's the main villain. It's like when you first watch, if you go into the series and you first watch it without knowing anything, Dragon Ball Z, let's say, and you get to the Android Saga, you don't know about Cell. You don't know anything. This is the first time watching it, so you think that 19 and 20 are the real villains, and then boom, it's 17 and 18. Yeah, you don't know. So we're going into this assuming that Goku Black is the real villain. When you're right, it might be this guy. Maybe he's the guy in charge. It makes sense, or maybe he is Black.
Thank you guys for watching. This is all we had time for, but if you want to see more of Geekdom 101 and Anime Live reactions in another collaboration video, let us know in the comments below, and also make sure you guys go check out his YouTube channel, subscribe, and comment in his videos. Anime Live reactions sent me here. So make sure you guys comment on his video, Anime Live reactions sent me here. In the meantime, make sure you guys watch my interview with Ken Zyro. He is a professional translator for a lot of anime shows. So make sure you guys watch part 1 and part 2 out of that video. It's very interesting if you want to learn Japanese, you want to learn how to translate, how to do subbing. And also make sure you guys watch my in-depth analysis on Black Goku, a possible Makaioshin. That is a very good video if you want to get an inside look into potentially Black Goku or Goku Black being a Makaioshin.